I'm back up here at Secord Dam. You can see Secord Lake behind me, and there is a ton of work going on over in this direction. We'll be checking that out a little bit closer very soon, but first off, I want to thank all my patrons that make this content possible. Without you, I wouldn't be able to keep coming out here and filming these updates. Also, we'll be filming with the drone a little bit today. Let's go ahead, get this camera turned around and take a little bit closer look though. A little bit windy today, so let me flip the microphone around so you can hear me a little bit better. You've been able to see a lot of this work ongoing from the live camera that I have here on Secord Dam. It's been quite a while since January-ish, springtime, that I've been up here last filming on the ground. It's been great to have that live camera so that you guys can see 24/7, every single hour of the day, the work that is ongoing here. So I've been waiting for the sheet pile to finish being installed and concrete to start being poured. And as you can see, there is concrete being poured right now. Let's go on, hop on down and take a little bit closer look at what's going on here. We're a little bit further to the east now. You can see, you may have been able to see this area from the live camera where there's been a giant hole dug. This is actually where the chute is. Emergency spillway will be coming over the top of there, and this will be continued to be excavated this direction. So this will all be filled with concrete here. Right now they're actually putting a mud mat down there. You can see where it's all nice and level, and they can start pouring some concrete. So it's kind of difficult to actually see the scale of just how large this is. 50 feet down here at the bottom. When that person was standing down there, it's definitely just huge, enormous. And then this, like I said, will be continued to be excavated that direction down to the river. We'll be going to check out that direction very shortly, but I wanted to kind of work from the east and start heading west. Let's go over here by the crane and take a look at this over here now. We'll jump into a short drone segment here. You can see that they were just starting to pour that mud mat. They got some of that mud in the concrete bucket here. I hope that it's helpful for you guys to see the image overlay when I'm actually on the ground of the area that I'm standing, that I keep popping up on the screen. Let me know in the comments down below if you want me to keep continuing to do that, so you can kind of orient yourself from where I am exactly filming from and what direction I am filming. You can see we're over here where the crane is located now. Now you can see a little bit more how steep this bank is. So like I said, that's where that is going to be placed. They said it's pretty much like a grout, that mat that's going to be put down, and then maybe about after a week they'll be able to start pouring concrete here. That'll be poured to about where the end of where that last stake is. They've been pumping water out down here. You can see a little bit in that corner, but we've been getting quite a bit of rain here in mid-Michigan. So as you can imagine, this low spot pretty much is like a pond with sand on top and clay down there, so that's going to hold the water pretty well. So they had to keep pumping that water out so that they have a nice dry work area down here. Pretty cool though. Will be interesting to see once they start pouring concrete. I am going to try getting back here regularly, try to get back to my monthly schedule now that there's so much going on. But as you may have heard, we do have a baby on the way, and about a month from now she is due, so that might take up a little bit of my time, but I will stick with it, and I will continue to come out here and give you guys regular updates. All right, let's head on over there a little bit further to the west now, and we'll see the work that's going on the other side of that sheet pile. Jumping back to the drone video now, this is that area that they are pouring that mud mat grout in. I think they actually did a few concrete pours here now at the time of me filming this voiceover. Just based on looking at the live camera, I think that I have seen them pour some concrete in this area. So the next time that I get out there, I'm sure you guys will see a big difference here in the auxiliary emergency spillway. We'll fly over here a little bit further to the west. You can see how much heavy equipment there is. 3 excavators here in this shot, and they will continue to excavate this direction. They will have to excavate this chute out, and potentially someday this is where the water would flow in a heavy rainfall event, that the emergency spillway would need to be used. That water would overflow and come right down the chute and kind of alleviate some of that water going over the Secord Dam. And then it would just meet back up with the Tittabawassee River. It's a pretty cool shot flying the drone directly down this way. This is actually where I will be standing on the ground in the next shot, and they were pouring some concrete down there at this time as well. So hopefully you guys are enjoying this video. I did go down and film at Smallwood before coming up here and filming at Secord. So this video has taken me a little bit longer to get out than the Smallwood Dam video. There's a lot of progress going on both here at Secord and down there at Smallwood Dam though. It's pretty impressive sight to see, and it's a very impressive construction project. It's kind of hard to actually take into scale, as I've said before, until you actually get out there on the ground and are standing next to the emergency spillway and some of the sheet pile, and just standing on the dam to just see how large of scale this is and how big of a project it is to undertake. Jumping to this next shot, we are up at 400 feet in altitude with the drone, getting that bird's eye view so you can kind of see the whole site from east to west. Not much going on that west side, but that is where the concrete batch plant is located. You'll see some shots of that later on in this video, but over here on the left hand side, the east side, is where that emergency auxiliary spillway is, and you can kind of see where they have excavated out that area and where they are putting in that mud mat and soon to be concrete. Jumping to a few of the quick facts that people are always interested about, the cost to repair is about $33.9 million. There are about 2,015 waterfront properties, and the estimated lake return date is 2025. I think so far they're targeting the spring of 2025. So we'll see. So far they remain on target to get the lake refilled about that time though. Hopefully you can hear me. It's a little bit louder down here, but we are at the base of the spillway. So right up there, that chute that I was just at, this is where all that water is going to be directed someday in the event that the emergency spillway needs to be used. You can see the concrete bucket coming overhead. They are doing pouring. They're pouring some of these forms right now. So this form over here on this retaining wall, they started at the bottom and are working their way up. About 30 feet of concrete there. There will probably be some sort of stilling basin or sill down here at the very bottom. You can kind of see that concrete that already has been poured and set down there. This wall here is yet to be poured though. Probably after they finish this one, they'll swap the forms over here. The wedge has been partially complete too. You can see that. They still need to finish that part down there. This will actually be a sister wall. It'll conjoin with the buttress over here. They've already cored in and put some rebar into that down there before they poured this. Over here you can see the other forms that they're pouring right now. So for every one bucket they put here, they put 2 buckets in the form that is behind me from the on-site concrete plant that is just up over this direction. So you can actually see the live camera right up there. So the live camera is able to see this view. You're not able to see what's going on straight down here, but you're able to see all of the spillway, the chute and everything up there. Pretty cool seeing this though, that you can see this tubing that's going down in the ground. This is actually for holding down the concrete slab when they go ahead, remove this sheet pile. This water is going to be in here one day. When they do that, they don't want that water to go ahead and lift that concrete. So after they go ahead and pour this, they're going to put some metal, maybe rebar, down inside of these pipes, and then pour grout down in there to hold these slabs so that they stay in place. Also, if we take a look way there, back there in the back, The old tube chute that used to come out of the powerhouse where the turbine used to be housed is now gone. And they are working on that low-level outlet. So some progress happening there. The powerhouse still needs to be demoed. You see that structure still standing up there. A lot of water coming over the top of the Secord Dam right now though. Pretty cool and amazing to be here on site and see all this work that is ongoing. There are so many people on site here right now, and work is progressing really fast. Just since the last video, you can see all the sheet piles that has been put in place, but also all the dirt that has been moved, concrete that has been poured. Just a ton of progress going on here right now. Probably go ahead and jump into some drone video of this area now, and then I'll be back with you on the ground. So this is the exact area that I was just standing on the ground, right here at the end of the chute. And then over here on the right hand side is where they were working on pouring that concrete pad. Like I said, you can see this area from the live camera, so make sure you're going and checking out the Secord Dam live camera whenever you're curious about what's going on here. It's pretty interesting. Right now I can see that they are actually pouring the retaining wall, the sister wall that's going to conjoin against the retaining wall over here on the east side of the dam. So they're just finishing up that area, and over here you can see the water flowing over the sill at the base of the dam. You can see some of that work that was done at the base of the powerhouse on the low-level outlet, and that powerhouse will be demoed shortly as well. So hopefully we're able to catch that from the live camera as well. I want to be able to see how they do that, if they're just going to bring in a breaker and just start breaking these bricks apart. Pretty much everything has been removed from there. A lot of the turbine and hydro parts were sold to kind of fund some more of this project. You can see the Secord Lake and the Tittabawassee River flowing over the top of Secord Dam. Tanner gates in their completely raised position, just letting things go as a run of the river, letting the Tittabawassee River flow through the dam as if it wasn't there, and continuing down under Secord Dam Road into the south down the Tittabawassee River. We'll pan over here to the east again, and you can kind of see the auxiliary emergency spillway work. Here's a quick shot. You can see the wall that they're currently pouring. So concrete bucket is going back to get another load from the truck, and that is being poured right down in there right now. This drone shot just shows the concrete bucket on the crane that they were pouring the pad on the front side of the dam. So you can kind of see that area. Looks like they have those, I think they're HDPE tubes covered with some plywood, some wood there it looks like. And that's where they're going to be putting in that rebar and then some of that grout to hold these pads in place so that, like I said, when the water comes over this area, these pads just don't lift. They're actually secured to the ground, anchored, so that they do not move. So great job here by all of these contractors. There's a lot of hard work going on here, both from the physical side as well as from the mental side. There's a lot of construction going on by Fisher Contracting and a couple of the subcontractors. And then there is a lot of engineering done by, there's a lot of, not just Spicer Engineering, but there is a lot of input from everyone on this project. Up here at the top of the emergency spillway, you can see that's where I was just down there at the base. Eventually the water could potentially be flowing through here in the next couple years if we have a high rainfall event to alleviate some of the water going over Secord Dam. This area, they were just bulldozing out a little bit of this clay earlier this week, but this will need to be excavated down a little bit lower to be able to meet up with the chute that was over here on this side that you saw at the beginning of the video. How much lower that is right over on the other side of where this excavator is. So quite a bit of clay, dirt, might be sand in here, needs to be excavated yet before this is getting poured. Let me walk down here to the top of the curve real quick so you can see the base. There's a good shot down there at the bottom. Let's go ahead, head on over and check out the mini mobile concrete plant over there now. Hopefully you can hear me over the roaring water. I know I said we were on our way over to check out the concrete plant, but this is an awesome shot. Seeing the water come over top of Secord Dam, over the top of the sill down there, and also you're able to get an awesome bird's eye view without even using the drone of the work that is happening down here. Pretty cool. Alright, now let's go ahead and head over that direction. Maybe we'll stop up here at the top of the dam, get a quick shot of the water coming over and Secord Lake before we head over to the concrete batch plant as well. Reading through the comments, I have seen a few people both commenting on my videos as well as on Facebook that these dams are being way over engineered. This is too much work that is not needed, and that they just prefer, there be a shorter path to the lakes being restored. And I can see that. You can see how much work there is going on here, how much engineering has went into this project, but it needs to be done so that we do not have another incident like we saw down there on the Edenville Dam when the earthen embankment failed. We cannot have another catastrophe like that happen again. And based on what you're seeing here, you know for a fact that that will be the case. This dam is being built so that it will last, I believe, 100 years, but I'm sure it will last way beyond that point. Great shot over the top of Secord Lake. A little bit more vegetation growth, not too bad here on the Secord Lake bed though. There's definitely a lot more vegetation growth down there on Wixom and Sanford Lake. Check out all the bluegill right here behind the dam. There's quite a few down there. Swing over to this side, you can see the gates in their fully raised position in a shot down the Tittabawassee River. Again, here comes the concrete bucket doing another pour. If you've watched any of my previous videos from here at Secord Dam, you know that this is one of my favorite shots, just kind of starting down the river and flying up towards Secord Dam. It's pretty picturesque seeing the river flow down that direction and how natural it is down around the bend. And up here on the right hand side, you can see again they're pouring that retaining wall at the end of the chute. Concrete buckets up there, and the contractors are going ahead and pouring it full. And speaking of vegetation growth, I do have a video coming up of showing the work that's being done on mowing or brush hogging the lake bed. So that's kind of an interesting video that you guys will see shortly as well. On the west side of the dam now, this is where the micropile will be poured eventually, a little ways away from the dam, and then they will go ahead and secure it over here to the buttress retaining wall to keep this wall from moving. So it kind of uses all this earth to hold it back. Pretty cool. Quite a lot of work being done here, and again, live cameras right straight there on the other side of that Connex box. I'm going to start flying the drone from one end of the site over here on the west side of the dam to the east side of the dam, all the way down there on the other side of the emergency auxiliary spillway. But as I do that, I kind of wanted to pop up the dam restoration timeline, and you can see all the dams on here. Sanford, Secord, Smallwood, Edenville. Edenville's lumped in with the Tobacco River there, but you can kind of see when these will be restored. So based on seeing Secord and Smallwood Dam there, looks like Secord Dam could go into the Q1 of 2025, but that is when they are estimating the lake refill date to be. So based on that, Smallwood Dam could finish 1 quarter sooner at the very end of 2024, but that is why they are estimating the lake refill date to be 2025 for both these dams. Hopefully in the springtime, when we get a lot of our spring thaw melt from all the snow that hopefully we will be getting during the winter time of the year 2024. That's the hope. If we get a lot of precipitation, a lot of snow melt that year, from what I've heard, these dams, the lakes, could be refilled within 1 calendar year. We're over here at the plant now. Sure, some people in the comments know a little bit more about this than I do. What's in each one of these hoppers. Sure, we got some sand mix as well as our Portland cement maybe up in here. Looks like the trucks go ahead and back right up underneath this chute. The rock stone over here. Looks like they dump over in here and that comes up this conveyor belt. It's a conveyor belt right up there. Falls into the truck. You can kind of see there's a conveyor at the bottom of this drum too that comes over and drops into there as well. So everything kind of gets combined right in that area before it falls down into the truck. So kind of cool having this little plant right here on site. You know, they are within a minute away of the location where they need to be pouring, and they can go ahead and do their slump test right here. All the testing done right here where they're mixing and making up the concrete. Alright, that's a wrap of me filming on the ground here now. Let's go ahead and throw that drone up in the air and get a couple of those aerial views of the site. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure you go down below, hit that like button, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and leave any questions and comments down in the comment section down below. And if you guys want to see more videos, more recurring, me to film a little bit sooner, hopefully, like I said, I'm back out here filming on these sites maybe once or twice every other month. Let me know that in the comment section down below. As with all the work that's going on here, I have a feeling I will be back here a little bit sooner with all the concrete being poured. I'm going to show you guys where the concrete batch plant is located in relation to Secord Dam. So right there, Secord Dam on the right hand side of the screen, Secord Lake in the background to the north, and over here on the left hand side, entering now, is the mini mobile concrete batch plant. So very, very close. Looks like they have quite a few concrete trucks out here as well, so they're able to make multiple batches and just keep things flowing. As with concrete, that is very important sometimes that you do not take breaks. You have a continuous flow so that things do not set up. Thanks for watching, and make sure you hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. Also, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next videos I will be posting, and leave your questions, comments, and suggestions below. As always, I just want to give a massive thanks to the people who support me on Patreon. Never underestimate the value of your contribution to keeping this channel going. Thank you.